My first trigger build, Shiv edition, a Crossout video by Dangerously Incompetent. You're in the wasteland, driving along in the sand, when all of a sudden you see a vehicle. It's driving towards you. You rush forwards and flip the vehicle over on its back, Sergey. The vehicle lays on its back, its fuel tank baking in the hot sun, wriggling its weapons trying to turn over. But it can't, not without your help. But you're not helping. Why is that, Sergey? This video demonstrates why you put small wheels on the front of your wedge, in order to get the leading edge lower than your opponent's. Up he goes! Oh, he didn't go over. I could have wedged rubbish here better. I managed to lift one side, which is what you want, but I didn't get the rear wheels up because I was retreating. So he didn't roll over. But I won the wedging competition. He didn't wedge me. In the ideal wedge manoeuvre, you'll lift just one side of their vehicle and that'll cause them to roll over. If you lift both sides, they just fly over you, land right way up and drive off, which is no good at all. Now I've got two Shivs on the front of my vehicle. Rabish had a Bigfoot. And my Shivs, first off, they raise the frame up from the ground much less than the Bigfoot, so that's an advantage for me when I'm trying to wedge him and he's trying to wedge me. And I also have a Bigfoot at the back and the Shiv at the front, which tilts the whole build and it slopes down towards the front, so my leading edge is even lower. But there's a penalty to pay for this. I have more power reduction than Rabish did, because my two Shivs versus his Bigfoot, the power reduction is 88% times 88%, which equals 77% for me because of the two Shivs, rather than he's just suffering, it's just got 80%, flat 20% off for the Bigfoot, whereas the Shivs are minus 12%. Gives the same, two Shivs versus a Bigfoot gives me the same tonnage, but I've got less durability, less total durability, and even worse, it's in two halves. So theoretically, one explosion could take off both my Shivs, and that same explosion, his Bigfoot would survive. So there are penalties to pay for having the Shivs and the lower wedge. Now for the last enemy, who is another wedge. Magilla has Shivs front and back, so I win the wedge competition again, because my rear Bigfoot pushes the rear end up and my front end down for a lower leading edge, a winning leading edge. They're just questions, Sergey. In answer to your query, they're written down for me.